Hey, good morning. An amazing story to share with you right now. A few months ago, a Seattle man received the most devastating news anyone could imagine. He has incurable cancer, and it might kill him. Nick and Alyssa Magnotti are just beginning their fight against cancer. It's going to be a long and expensive battle, but the Seattle tech community is rallying around this couple with a very unique fundraiser today. Nick and Alyssa joining us this morning to tell us their story and to tell us about tonight's Geek Roast, which is happening in town. Good to have you guys. And I have to tell you, you guys are so brave to come forward and be public as you are with what's going on with you right now, but you're doing a lot of good by doing this, so thank you for that. Okay, so a few months ago, Nick, you were living your life, you were active, you were healthy, and all of a sudden you had a ruptured appendix. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, just got a stomach ache one day, resulted in going to the doctor. He thought maybe it was appendicitis. Did a CAT scan. That resulted to them thinking it was a burst appendix. Long story short, they went in to do a surgery and found a tumor that had produced a mucus, and the mucus was about the size of a melon.
And spread all throughout the abdomen, basically.
And it was creating pressure, and so that was what the pain was. So they went in there and took the appendix out, the tumor out, and took the jelly mass out.
What they could.
What they could.
Right.
When the doctor says to you, this is stage 4 cancer, you have a tumor the size of a melon inside you, what goes through your mind?
It was there was fear at first. You know, Elise and I got the call from my doctor that it was cancerous, and you know, Elise and I sat together and just kind of had a couple tears, and from that moment, it's just been pushing forward. The only tears that we've had are from joy, just from the humbling experience that we've had with people stepping forward to help us out.
And we will get to tonight's event in just a moment. This is really remarkable. No cure for this cancer, and I understand this is a very expensive and intense therapy that you're going to have to go through.
Correct, yeah. There's no designated cure for it. The procedure that we're going to have done is just meant to help prevent the cancer from coming back.
From recurring. And they basically say that it's not an if it comes back, it's a when. And so basically what the surgery is they cut from kind of your chest area all the way down to your pelvic bone, and then they open you up and kind of scrape all the cancer cells out, because it tends to stick in weird places like under your diaphragm, behind your liver, all those kinds of things. And then they'll be removing a portion of his colon, but hopefully not too much, and then they'll be bathing the entire area in that abdomen with heated chemotherapy.
And how much will this cost to get done?
It's $300,000 to $400,000 surgery. We're working with our insurance company to cover hopefully most of it, but the travel costs and missing work, we don't have disability because we kind of thought we were young enough that we maybe didn't need it, and so we are kind of working through all of that stuff.
And so you go to your employer at ThinkSpace and you say, hey, I have this situation. He jumps into action and gets this thing rallied. Talk about the event that's happening tonight.
Yeah, it's nuts. So we're doing, it's a geek roast, and so basically the tech community has come together. We've picked, I guess there's 7 or 8 geeks that were being voted on to be roasted.
Right.
And I think they're announcing them tonight, so you'd have to come to find out who it is. But there's some really great people that are going to be going up and doing a little bit of a roast, and then we're doing a big auction. There's about 130 items that have been donated by just amazing people that we know from work, friends and family, and they're just awesome stuff, like 2 weeks in Chelan, trips to Puerto Vallarta, Nolan Ryan baseball.
Big baseball fan, right, Alicia?
He is. I'm not. I should have had you say that one. No, and some really cool stuff and wine and stuff like that. So that'll be auctioned off, and then it'll just be really fun is kind of the goal. We'll tell our story again, but we don't want people to just be depressed. We want people to be maybe a little bit inspired and have some fun at the event, because it's really going to be a lot of fun. There's over 200 tickets sold, so it's going to be pretty big.
And that's what I love. I asked you before we went on, I said, are you afraid? And you said no. Yep. And having fought cancer myself, I actually know what you mean. Even though this is a dire diagnosis, I love the fact that you guys are able to approach this with a smile. It is such an inspiration to so many people.
We just know that God's with us and He really has a plan, and so it's been really comforting, and seeing just how the community reaches out has just been so humbling and overwhelming. And if there's silver lining, it's that you get to actually see how many people care, because you never really know until something like this happens, and then you're like, oh my gosh.
Yep, and we will see it tonight in full force. Nick and Elisa, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. You guys are awesome. Tonight's Geek Roast happening at the Marriott in, it's in Redmond, right?
Yes.
It is the Redmond Marriott. It is happening tonight, starting at 6 o'clock. There's a live silent auction. There's a fun after party there. You can also donate by bringing a check made out to the Nick Magnotti Benevolent Fund. You can take that to any BECU teller at this point. Is that right?
Yep.
So that's a great thing. So all the proceeds go to help pay for Nick's medical bills.
Yeah.
All the information at SeattleGeekRoast.com.